priority tax debt is a debt on a tax in which the tax return was due less than 3 years before you file the bankruptcy papers, and the tax that is to be discharged was assessed or was assessable less than 240 days prior to filing the bankruptcy papers. So if you didn't wait long enough to file the bankruptcy papers, you didn't wait 3 years and a day after the tax return was due, you didn't wait 241 days after the tax was assessed, then the tax is a priority tax. If, on the other hand, you did wait more than the 3 years after the tax return was due, and you did wait more than 240 days after the tax was assessed, then the tax is non-priority. Now, that doesn't mean it's dischargeable, because for it to be dischargeable, you'd also have to satisfy that 2-year requirement. That is, that you waited more than 2 years after you filed the return to file the bankruptcy papers. Now, most of the time, if you file the return on time, if you satisfy the 3-year rule, you will have satisfied the 2-year rule. But sometimes people file those returns late, so they satisfy the 3-year rule for dischargeability, they satisfy the 240-day rule for dischargeability, but they don't satisfy the 2-year rule for dischargeability. So that means that even though it's a non-priority tax debt, it's not necessarily dischargeable. You have to satisfy all three, the 3-year, 2-year, 240-day rule. So in any event, to summarize, a non-priority tax debt is one that you've waited long enough after the date the return was due to file the bankruptcy papers, and you've waited long enough after the tax was assessed to file the bankruptcy papers. That makes the tax debt non-priority.